Sean here with another video out of 365-day video series. Thank you so much for joining me. Today's been a long day. I'm exhausted, but I want to make this video before I go to bed, so I'm going to go right into it. It's going to be kind of deep, or at least I'm going to try to go deep about it. I'm going to talk about why some people are successful or just meant to be successful and always will be, and why some people are just not successful and why they attract negative things in their life. So to go right into it, I believe that every person, and it's not, I guess it's not a belief, it's actually true. Every person has an inner blueprint, how they think the world's supposed to be, how they think their life is supposed to be, and it dictates their future, their present, and their past. And sometimes this blueprint can be brought up by their own self-disciplines, their own self-experiences, or things out of their control, like their family, their friends, world influences. And so just knowing that, I want you guys to dive deep into yourself and start understanding what kind of experiences did I have before I ended up where I am today. What happened in my family? What happened in my finances? What happened with my friends and loved ones that have affected me today, either in a positive or negative way? Because when you get this blueprint, it's either you produced it yourself through your own results, or other people helped influence it. And some people were brought up in families that they were always encouraged. They always were taught the value of hard work, taught the value of making their own income, and they were brought up as an entrepreneur, and their father was an entrepreneur, and they were taught how to make money, and now they can, attract that money into life and success because they read books and all this great stuff. And other people were brought up in families where, books weren't a big thing, that leadership by the father and mother wasn't there, and that money was tight, and it wasn't the best thing. So they grow up with this blueprint that they think they're not meant to have money, that their family is always in dire trouble. But the interesting thing is, roles can get reversed. People who grow up in these families that get encouraged, make tons of money, they can end up going down the wrong route. They can end up crashing and burning just because they rebel it, because they've seen their family and maybe they didn't want to be like him. Seen their dad work so hard for everything they got, maybe they didn't want to be like that. Or, the person who comes with the family that makes no money, who's just are starving and almost, living on the streets, to completely hating that and wanting to make such a big difference that they come back and become a millionaire and totally change their life and their family. And it's just strange. But the whole point of this video, guys, is to get you to understand that the inner blueprint that you have for your life is what you will produce into reality. If you think you're meant to be a millionaire and that you're meant to do bigger things than you've ever thought, then you will. And if you think that you're going to be poor and that you're not going to make it and that you're just meant to live a job and 9 to 5 and just make it just by every paycheck, then that's the reality you will live. You might get lucky break and make a little bit more, but you'll always end up in the same place at the end of the year. It's just the law of attraction and the blueprint that you set for yourself. And also, one last thing I want to mention, this is just a simple formula of why people aren't happy. It's called, your blueprint doesn't equal your map or your world. So I've mentioned this in other videos, and it pretty much means the blueprint that you have inside, the blueprint that says, I'm meant to be a millionaire, but in the outside world, you're poor, you're not going to be happy. That it's an obvious thing. You want your outside world to match your blueprint. So if your blueprint is to be a millionaire, if you're not a millionaire, you're not going to be happy. So the two ways to fix it is either to become a millionaire and you'll be happy, or you switch your inner blueprint to where I'm happy where I am right now. Because at the end of the day, money doesn't really make you happy. It increases your happiness somewhat, but it really just comes from inside. So hopefully this video made sense to you guys. I kind of jumped around a little bit, but I think it's just important to mention how things in your past and your inner blueprint that you were brought up with dictates how you are in the future. And there's ways of fixing it and changing it and reprogramming your mind for success, like I have in my life, and I want you to in your life, to get you to where you want to go. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found value, like I always say, share it with a friend. Because if you do find value, I did my job. Thank you for watching, guys. See you next time.